welcome to episode 2 of Sowing Seeds Overseas, my channel where I'm just talking about our life traveling between Washington State and the Dominican Republic, where we own this 47-acre, previously mission center and farm, currently mission center and farm. We are going to be doing something very important today, and that is getting water. So I had somebody in the comments in my last video ask us to put out a video about how we got this place, what the process of purchasing it was like. So I'm going to do that in the future. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks here, I'll get that put out for you. But today we're going to go get water. So here in the Dominican Republic, commonly water is not potable. So that includes here on our property. So that we actually have our own well here, and when we purchased the property, we had the water tested because this area is known for having really great water, like this property in particular. And that may have been true once upon a time, but unfortunately it is no longer the case. And whether we weren't sure if it was the actual well was contaminated or if it was the pipes that have just gotten deteriorated or contaminated over the years, but for whatever reason, our water is no longer potable. So here we have our well, as I mentioned, and the way our water works is we pump water from our well up to our reservoir, which I'll show you in a moment. And that, you know, obviously it depends on how often we have to do it, but on our water usage, but typically once every couple of weeks, we just go turn the well pump on for a few hours, and then it fills up our water reservoir, which then gravity feeds our entire system. So that gives us all of our sinks, all of our showers. We have a bunch of outdoor showers and outdoor toilets around the property, and so that feeds this whole system. So here is our water tower behind me here. Ooh, there she is. So that's where we get all of our water for washing and all of our water for bathing. Personally, we go ahead and use it for brushing our teeth also, but a lot of people don't even use the water here for brushing their teeth. They use bottled water. So in a minute, we are going to go on a beautiful journey to go show you how we get our water. So join us. So someday we would like to, kitty removal. Someday we would like to get our own water filtration system put in here, and then we can fill up our own jugs on the property. But for right now, we purchase our jugs of water, as do many, many, many people who live here on the island. So as you drive around, you'll see racks outside of all sorts of establishments and homes, just metal racks full of these blue jugs. And there's different water filtration places and springs where they fill up the jugs. And then once you have your jugs, you can just turn them in, and it's about $1 a jug to replace them for your full water. And the tricky thing is you have to get the right brand, so they won't just trade any old jug for a new jug. You have to find the place that sells your same brand of water and turn in your old jugs for new jugs. If they get damaged, you can't trade them in anymore. So we have a bunch of these now, and every once in a while we go for a little trip and get new, fresh, filled water jugs. So once you know what kind of water you have and where you can go pick your water, the next thing that's important to know is what time of day and what days of the week is there actually going to be water available, because the colmados here are just these little stands that are on every street corner around, even in the middle of farmland. There'll also be a little colmado that's open, that's usually just run by the people that live right there, and it's like a little tiny convenience store, and that is one of the main places where you will find the jugs of water. But the colmados, because they are usually just owned and operated by a family or an individual, they'll be closed at lunchtime. They will be closed on Sundays. They usually close half days on Saturdays, are really common. For all of those small kind of mom and pop shops around at least this area of the Dominican Republic on the North Coast. So we have to plan our water accordingly. It's always important to know, like, if it's getting towards the weekend and you're getting low on water, it's probably a good idea to go get it, because yeah, midday Saturday, all day Sunday, and then a lot of times there'll be a surprise holiday on Mondays. Surprise to us. I'm sure that the Dominicans know way better than I do. I used to, when we had employees that would come out here, I would just get a text saying, hey, this is the holidays that are coming up, because there are a lot of holidays here. So we go, usually take about 12 of our water jugs at a time so that we're well stocked. And we always try to keep tabs on how many we have left so that we know when it's time to go stock up again. When we first came here on vacation, we stayed in this gorgeous Airbnb right on the ocean. It was our family of 5 and another family of 5. So we go through a lot of water, and this was our first time being in the Dominican Republic at all. It was our first time being in any sort of a developing country without staying at resorts. So we were not familiar with the whole non-potable water issue. So we arrived at our Airbnb, and I think there were 2 of the 5-gallon jugs with a pump attached to it, which is just the most common. We have a bunch of the jugs that we just have a pump that we stick on the top. I'll show a picture of that, to just easily pop it on the top, and you can pump it out into your water bottles. And then we also have a typical office water cooler that both cools and heats the water that we keep in our kitchen. So our Airbnb just had a pump so we could fill up our water bottles and everything that we needed, and it came with 2 jugs, and so we had to figure out where to go to get more, how to do that. So that was a little bit of an adventure. So good thing to know and be prepared for as you're coming out here. I spoke a little bit in our last video that we had friends of ours staying out at our property this last time that we were out of town, and when we got back they were like, there's only this much water left, and there was this much left in a jug, and it was Sunday, so we were out of luck until the next day to go get water. So we were just using our water sparingly. So definitely water is something to be prepared for and aware of here on the island. Thanks to everybody for tuning in, for deciding to spend a few minutes peering into my life here in the Dominican Republic, sometimes in Washington State. And I will be recording more very soon. As promised, I'll be doing videos introducing our animals, talking about our homeschool routine, and also telling about the process of buying this property.